Welcome back to our channel, soap fans. Today is a phenomenal day to dive into the latest explosive drama rocking Los Angeles. Grab your favorite drink and settle in, because the impending shockwaves are about to shatter everything we thought we knew about our favorite fashion dynasties. Let's get straight into the heart-pounding action. The sterile, suffocating silence of Dr. Lee Finnegan's hospital office is about to become the epicenter of a catastrophic marital earthquake. Daphne Walton sits frozen in the cold leather chair, her entire world collapsing inward as the devastating words hang in the air like a death knell. Premature ovarian insufficiency. Early menopause. Severe infertility. This is the moment of no return. The absolute, terrifying reality that the family she and Carter Walton have been desperately trying to build is being ripped away before it ever even began. There is no going back from this diagnosis. The ticking time bomb has officially detonated, instantly grounding us in the escalating, heartbreaking stakes of a newlywed couple about to face their ultimate trial by fire. The clinical precision of Lee Finnegan's diagnosis slices through Daphne's hopes with ruthless efficiency. Every single terrifying symptom that Daphne has been secretly battling over the past few weeks suddenly clicks into a horrifying, inescapable puzzle. The sudden, drenching night sweats that woke her in a panic. The irregular hormonal shifts that mirrored perimenopause. It all makes perfect, devastating sense now. Lee's voice, though sympathetic, delivers the unvarnished medical truth, leaving absolutely zero room for false hope or miraculous misinterpretations. Daphne's breath catches in her throat, her chest heaving as the sheer, crushing gravity of her biological reality anchors her to the floor. The future she envisioned, a house filled with the laughter of Carter's children, is evaporating right before her tear-filled eyes. Steffy Forrester Finnegan stands fiercely by her best friend's side, absorbing the shockwaves of this apocalyptic medical revelation. Steffy's protective instincts instantly kick into overdrive, her sharp, authoritative demeanor softening into pure, unadulterated empathy as she wraps her arms around a shattered Daphne. Steffy knows exactly what is at stake here. She has been Daphne's primary confidant, the only person who truly understands the immense, suffocating pressure Daphne has placed upon herself to give Carter the child he so desperately craves. Steffy holds Daphne as the Parisian beauty breaks down into violent, uncontrollable sobs, the sterile hospital room echoing with the sound of a woman mourning a future that has been violently stolen from her. The psychological torment ravaging Daphne's mind is absolute and terrifying. Her thoughts immediately violently pivot to her husband. Carter Walton, the man who has stood by her, the man who looks at her with nothing but pure adoration and an eager, burning desire to start a family. How does she look into his hopeful eyes and deliver this crushing blow? Daphne is paralyzed by a toxic cocktail of grief, inadequacy, and sheer terror. She knows that starting a family has been the absolute highest priority for her newlywed husband. The fear that this diagnosis will permanently fracture their marital bliss is a suffocating weight on her chest. Every second that ticks by brings her closer to the inevitable, explosive confrontation where she must shatter Carter's dreams. Steffy fiercely attempts to ground her friend, whispering fierce words of survival and solidarity, but the dread is already mutating into a monstrous shadow over Daphne's heart. The anticipation of Carter's reaction is a terrifying unknown. Will he look at her differently? Will the disappointment in his eyes be the final nail in the coffin of her self-worth? Daphne must now gather every ounce of her shattered strength to walk out of that hospital and face the man she loves with the worst news of her entire life. The stakes have never been higher for the Waltons, and the impending emotional fallout threatens to tear their pristine romance to absolute shreds. Meanwhile, across town, the executive boardroom at Forrester Creations has morphed into a venomous, high-stakes war room. The atmosphere is thick with panic, humiliation, and a burning, unquenchable thirst for vengeance. Every single fashion line, every scheduled launch, every carefully curated marketing campaign has been brutally slammed to a halt. The entire corporate machine is frozen in a state of emergency as Ridge and Eric Forrester scramble to assess the catastrophic damage inflicted by House of Logan. The Forrester legacy is bleeding out on the industry floor, and the patriarchs are pacing like caged, feral lions, desperate to strike back and reclaim their stolen throne. The devastating blow of Logan's unprecedented success is echoing through the mahogany halls of Forrester Creations like a mocking siren. Hope Logan and Deke Sharp's debut at Katie's rival fashion house didn't just make waves, it triggered a massive, industry-wide tsunami. The rave reviews are pouring in, hailing Dieck's forward-thinking designs and Hope's bold defection as the absolute pinnacle of modern fashion. Forrester Creations, the undisputed titan of Los Angeles, has been brutally upstaged, their thunder stolen by the very family they sought to control. The humiliation is absolute, and the fury radiating from Ridge and Eric is a palpable, dangerous force. Eric Forrester's pride has been deeply, perhaps permanently, wounded. The couture collection was supposed to be his triumphant, legendary comeback. It was designed to be the ultimate statement of Forrester's supremacy, a dazzling display of classic elegance that would silence any doubters. Instead, it was pushed to the sidelines, eclipsed by the blinding spotlight shining on Hope and Dieck. Eric is refusing to go down without a fight. His eyes are blazing with a fierce, uncompromising determination to crush Logan designs into dust. The couture collection is no longer just a fashion show, it is a weapon of mass destruction, and Eric is ready to pull the trigger. Ridge Forrester is operating with a ruthless, combative aggression that threatens to scorch the earth. He is fueling his father's fire, transforming their shared humiliation into a declaration of total corporate war. Ridge is absolutely resolute that Forrester Creations will return with a vengeance that will leave Katie Logan Spencer trembling in her designer heels. They are meticulously tearing apart their previous strategies, looking to the rescheduled couture collection to deliver a fatal, knockout blow to Logan's momentum. The father and son duo are locking arms, their minds racing to engineer a spectacle so magnificent, so undeniably superior, that the industry will instantly forget the name Hope Logan. The stakes in this fashion war have escalated from a mere business rivalry to a desperate battle for absolute survival and legacy dominance. The Forresters are entirely consumed by the need to steal the spotlight back, but the path to victory is shrouded in dangerous uncertainty. They know what they must do, but the execution of this vengeful comeback is a high-wire act with zero safety net. If the couture collection fails to obliterate Logan's success, Forrester Creations risks losing its crown permanently. The tension in the design room is suffocating as Ridge and Eric prepare to launch their counterattack, setting the stage for an explosive, winner-takes-all showdown on the runway. Simultaneously, a completely different kind of war is raging inside the desolate walls of the Spencer Beach House. Will Spencer is spiraling into a dark, feral abyss of regret and heartbreak. The physical absence of Elektra Forrester hits him like a violent, repeated blow to the chest. She has moved out, packing her bags and walking away from the man she loves, leaving Will stranded in a suffocating silence. The beach house, once a sanctuary of their passionate romance, now feels like a cold, empty tomb. Will is pacing the floorboards, his mind replaying the devastating moment Elektra walked out the door, his heart shattering into a million jagged pieces. Will is being eaten alive by a toxic, crippling guilt over his decision to keep Logan's corporate secrets from the woman he loves. He was sworn to secrecy by his family, forced to hide the truth about Hope's defection and Logan's aggressive business plans. He chose corporate loyalty over total transparency with his partner, and that choice has blown up in his face with catastrophic consequences. The Spencer family, led by the ruthless Bill Spencer, alongside the ever-opportunistic Melissa Dillon, have been buzzing in his ear, coldly insisting that his deception was just business. They expect him to simply brush off the loss of Elektra as collateral damage in the fashion war. But Will violently rejects their toxic, unfeeling advice. He doesn't care about the corporate chessboard, he only cares about the terrifying reality that he has lost the absolute love of his life. The phrase "just business" makes his blood boil. He is completely distressed, his emotions volatile and out of control. The realization that his allegiance to Katie and Bill's empire has cost him Elektra is a bitter, suffocating pill to swallow. Will refuses to accept this defeat. He refuses to let the Forrester-Logan war dictate the terms of his heart. Fueled by a desperate, burning need to make things right, Will prepares to cross enemy lines. Driven by pure, unadulterated adrenaline and blinding heartbreak, Will marches directly into the lion's den. He heads straight for the heavily fortified Forrester estate, determined to break through the walls Elektra has built around herself. This is not a calculated corporate maneuver, this is a raw, feral plea for survival. Will knows that Elektra is deeply entrenched in her family's outrage over the Logan betrayal. He knows that Ridge Forrester has likely forbidden her from ever uttering a Spencer's name again. But Will is beyond caring about the consequences. He is ready to lay his soul bare, to beg on his knees if he has to prove that his love for her eclipses any business secret. The impending confrontation between Will and Elektra is a high-stakes collision of love, loyalty, and betrayal. When Will finally stands before her, his eyes wild with desperate regret, Elektra is forced to confront the agonizing war raging inside her own heart. She is torn between her fierce loyalty to the Forrester legacy and the undeniable, magnetic pull of the man standing before her. Will's tearful, breathless apology hangs in the air, demanding an answer. Will Elektra defy her family and forgive the Spencer heir for his deception, or will the toxic fallout of the fashion war permanently sever their bond? The explosive climax of their romance hangs by a single, fragile thread. Will Carter leave Daphne over this tragic diagnosis, or will they survive the ultimate test? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned.